today's episode of Bad Granny, get ready to check out a vintage car collection that will blow your mind. But that's not all. We're gonna get to drive these vintage cars. How cool is that?
In Trinidad, located just off the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway in El Socorro, there is something big going on. Meet Jason. Enthusiastic, passionate, a little crazy. He doesn't simply modify cars and trucks. His creations are the result of a driving passion for the perfect combination of innovation, power, and style. But the real boss is Diesel. His opinion is worse than his bark and his bite. The big decisions get put on his plate for a thorough chew-through. This is the team that will take your ride to new heights. This is Bad Granny.
Vintage cars have always been really popular, as it carries a fascination that can provide a small mirror that reflects the period that they were made in. Today, they become priceless because they are relics of our history. We are going to explore Bridge Mirage's vintage car collection in San Fernando. Bridge got his first car in 1970, and the rest, as they say, is history. His collection grew to the point where he wanted to have an avenue to showcase them. In 2014, the Bridge Mirage Automotive Heritage Museum opened with over 16 vintage and antique cars, and numerous motorcycles available for public viewing. Let's take a look at the first car in the lineup, which is a 1958 Ford Prefect. And for some reason, everybody's uncle, grandfather, grandmother used to have one. The 1958 Ford Prefect 100E has a 4-cylinder pre-war side valve engine. This car had a massive 36 horsepower and a top speed of 71 miles per hour. The car was manufactured by Ford in Britain, UK from 1938 to 1961. Yes, Ford was not only American-based. The Prefect is defined from its predecessor by having 4 doors, vertical bars on the radiator, and being lightweight. The car model was upgraded to a modern 3-box structure. There is no separate chassis and is replaced with integral construction and coil-independent front suspension. The 100E series also comes in a 2-door angular model, which we really loved in Trinidad. This was a really popular car for the time because it was a no-frills, low-budget car. Bridge's car was fully restored to its original appearance, and the off-white, blue tone is true to the colors of its time. I have a perfect feeling this Prefect will run perfectly.
You know how long I drive this car?
Ford Prefect was.
How was your ride?
Great. It was a great little car. Can you imagine driving all the way from Miaro to San Fernando and up to town in this? On the old main roads and things? Crazy, eh?
Crazy. It wouldn't happen anymore.
Now it's time to take a look at another car. And we are still in the 1950s. This is a 1951 Austin Devon, like Devon biscuits. This 1951 Austin Devon has a 4-cylinder overhead valve engine and 40 horsepower with a top speed of 60 to 70 miles per hour, depending if it's going uphill or downhill. Bridge purchased it 40 years ago and restored it 35 years ago. It belonged to an overseer in Moruga and was then given to Bridge to keep in good condition. This series used a mix of old and new technologies of the time. Interestingly, they were assembled in New Zealand. It was debuted in the Paris Motor Show on October in 1947 to lackluster reviews by the UK press, calling it conservative in appearance. But over 450,000 units were built before the Austin Devon was replaced in 1952 by the Austin Somerset. The Austin Devon has a 1.2-litre straight 4-cylinder overhead valve engine that produces massive 40 brake horsepower at 4,200 RPM. Features include a front coil spring independent suspension and a rigid rear axle. The Girling brakes with 9-inch drums were operated hydraulically at the front and mechanically at the rear. Now it's time to go for a drive in this 1950s machine and see what she could do. Come on, Bridge, let's go.
It was about 35, 36 years back. A guy came up to my place, my home, and he told me a guy in Moruga wanted to have a word with me. I went and spoke to the guy.
Yeah.
And he said he was busy, but he didn't tell me what it was for. He just said he was kind of tied up.
He went all the way to Moruga.
All the way to Moruga.
And this other say he's busy.
He's busy, tied up. But he didn't say what it was for. So I went the next Saturday.
Drove back down again.
Next Saturday. So when I went the next Saturday, he said, come see something. And he took me to the back of the house and showed me this scar.
Sure it is.
Covered below a blanket. He said, this is for you.
Oh,
and I couldn't understand. I said, how much you want for it? And he said, he can't give a price. So, and he called a record and told the guy with the record to drop it on my place.
And he dropped it by you?
Yeah.
So then what happened?
The following Saturday, I went back and I paid him what he wanted.
Coming up next, we are back in 1958 with the Austin-Healey Sprite.
At Bad Granny, we live on the edge. We thrive on adventure. And every now and then, we enjoy a little speed. Every day is a new experience, which is why we trust Gulf's wide range of lubricants to enhance performance, reliability, and longevity.
Time to check out this step-side Ford pickup. This 1956 Ford 100 step-side pickup has a 351 Cleveland engine in it with over 400 horsepower, and the top speed is no longer 90 miles an hour, probably close to 150, but you know what? We're not going to find out that today. This 56 step-side was in really terrible condition before it was restored in 2017. Luckily enough, most or not all of the parts are available and easily sourced from the American market. Ford had its golden anniversary in 1953, and part of that celebration was introducing a new truck. This Ford 100 pickup was in production from 1953 to 1956. Solid, well-built, well-designed, with a stylish exterior and a comfortable interior. The 1956 Ford 100 step-side pickup was the fastest at the time due to the optional V8, which had a lot of horsepower. The wheelbase sizes range from 110 to 118 inches. It was priced at the time at $1,300 to $1,600, which wasn't too bad for the average American farmer. Now let's see what this American classic can do. Purple is known as the royal color, so let's see what this Regal looks like and check out the Vauxhall Velux. This 1949 Vauxhall Velux has a 6-cylinder engine with 58 horsepower and a top speed of 74 miles an hour. The UKS truck again with a rear wheel classic. These were built in 1948 and 1965 and released in various forms. The Velux was known for having a more American style than its European counterparts. So you can imagine 50 years ago, this same shot, that same building, the same trees, the same car.
It probably was.
Probably was, huh?
Yeah.
I could see people coming here and taking a little
Taking
breeze
pictures.
out, drinking a little wine, with the top hat and the frock dresses and stuff.
Yes. Walking through the garden with a picnic basket, putting it down.
And a little sun umbrella and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Crazy, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful car. So how you came across this one?
Well, this one, I got this one from a guy who had bought it from, I guess it had belonged to an overseer in Manzanilla.
Aha. So somebody owned them big old coconut estates.
Yes,
and stuff.
estate owner, yeah.
Wow. And how long he had it?
He had it from new, 1949.
And the guy you bought it from, he would have had it from where?
Well, he bought it from them and I got it from him.
And how long you have it now?
I have it probably almost 30 years maybe.
Now it's time to check the velocity of this Velux.
Hi, I'm Dale Lutchman, and I'm here to tell you about Track's newest service to save you your most valuable asset, time. Have you ever started your car and gotten that sad noise, followed by a flashing red battery light on your dashboard? Well, I have, and it's not the best feeling. If this happens to you, simply dial 62-TRACK, and the Track service representative will be happy to assist. The response team is courteous, professional, efficient, and trained to help you save your most valuable asset, time.
Next up is a truly rare find. Let's have a look at DeSoto vintage cars. This 1955 DeSoto Diplomat has a big V8 engine in it and horsepower of 185. I don't know what the top speed on this is because clearly Canadians don't speed. Too much snow. This was produced by Chrysler from 1946 to 1961. This model is a right-hand drive, which is pretty cool. Designed and made using a mix of Dodge and Plymouth components. For the 1955 model, they use a Plymouth body. This specific model was built in Canada and imported into Trinidad and Tobago by Southern Sales in 1955. The car was acquired in October of 2012 and restored to its original condition. It was painted in the original turquoise color. It's time to test out this 185 Canadian horsepower and see how she runs.
So yes, let's go and take a drive.
You can have like two girlfriends in this, one sit down next to you, one sit next to me.
Yeah.
Or a big one. It's really awesome that at one point in time in Trinidad, they had all these amazing beauties on the road. Crazy. I mean, I can remember when I was little that they had a few of them still left, but we don't see them at all now. Could you imagine the road being just filled with all these amazing, beautifully crafted trucks? So this Ford Prefect we took for a drive. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We went from the big American car, this little Ford. We went from having 4 people who could sit in the front to just barely fitting 2 people and Bridge and I rubbing shoulders. And this thing was small, tight, hot, noisy, bumpy, and Bridge was giving me a story that, could you imagine 6 people coming from Mayaro to San Fernando every day in this car to go to work. I mean, that's crazy, man. Because this thing could barely fit the 2 of us. Maybe we were eating too much in the 2019s as opposed to the 1950s.